So guys, we live in a moment where there is a lot of opportunity out there. And the problem is that you're wasting your time, your effort, your energy, following an opportunity that is probably not going to be the best idea for you. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about SMMA or marketing agencies. Now, I promise that by the end of this video, you are not only going to have full clarity on what you should start focusing on right now in order to actually start making money online, doing something that you love doing, but you will also be in a good position to actually start listening to your own intuition and create an offer that is going to be easy to sell in the marketplace. And that offer, just a spoiler, might not be marketing related to begin with. And my whole goal with this video, just so you guys know, is that you as an entrepreneur and a person that is hungry to make money online and that is hungry to help others on the internet are actually able to do that, actually make something that is valuable in the marketplace instead of just selling Facebook ads to e-commerce stores, right? So before we hop to the computer, remember that you can get this document with the link in the description or with the pinned comment. So that being said, let's get started right away. So guys, a previous note before we begin saying anything is that there is zero hate against the marketing agency model because we ourselves run an agency right now. Of course, it's not just a strictly a marketing agency, it's mostly a sales agency. But the problem is that people start to get super fixated in what niche they can choose for a specific business model instead of solving problems for people. That's the big problem. And in this video, what we'll cover is why SMMA might not be the answer for you specifically, and some ideas on how to choose a more fitting business model according to your current skill set, passions, and most importantly, the current needs in the marketplace, because that's what business is all about. If you don't have these things over here, it doesn't matter what offer you have. It doesn't matter what business model you have. It doesn't matter the skill set that you have, because if you are not actually solving problems, you're not basically going to do any money, right? This is important for some people. I'm saying that starting a marketing agency is a scam or that marketing agencies don't work or anything like that. For some people, starting a marketing agency can be the actual solution, but in my opinion, it's honestly not for everyone, and most people are not actually suited to run a marketing agency. You will see why, and I will show you guys some alternatives, and it will be even better than having a marketing agency in the first place. If you're on a rush and you can only watch this portion of the video, this is the core idea of what I want to say. Business is all about solving problems. And there are no magical business models out there, no outreach methods that are going to be this end-to-end solution, and there are no frameworks that are the right solution for everyone. The rewards of your efforts will depend on how big the problems you solve are. And if you understand this, you are going to start thinking not in terms of what businesses you can have, but actually what problems you can solve. And that little tweak in your way of thinking is going to make a massive difference in what you do, how you do it, and who you help. For sure, there are some business models that have super low barriers of entry or a small skill set that is required, for example, marketing agencies. And I'll be honest, even more when you get sold into the idea that you can just delegate everything to a media buyer without having to be worried about anything. Of course, that's just like, hey, you don't need to do anything pretty much. Another example is coaching, consulting, course creation, etc. The idea of starting a business is honestly super sexy, right? But most people don't have the core skill sets that make it possible to get results in any service-based business model, for that matter. For example, you need to learn how to book calls, how to do outreach, and listen, this is without even considering that there are different forms of outreach. You could do cold call, you could do cold email, you could do Instagram, you could do Facebook, you could do Twitter. There are a whole bunch of different channels that you could be using. You need to learn how to close, you need to learn about sales, you need to start understanding industry-specific pain points, you need to start understanding content creation, the actual delivery of the product, which is honestly the most important part, the hardest part, but the part that nobody pays attention to, right? You combine that, the fact that nobody is actually pretty much suited to run a business because they don't have these core skill sets, with the fact that maybe you bought a very big program where you're basically competing against everyone that bought the same program. Everybody out there is sending the same messages, selling the same offer, no actual track record or results. So you're going to end up being depressed with no results. And last but not least, you're pretty much screwed at this point, right? Because you're just going to be on a hamster wheel of trying to do the same thing that everybody is doing. So of course, it's obvious you're not going to get results, right? To be honest, this is not a game over for you. There are actually a couple of options that you have, and I want to share in this video what these options might be. But before I do that, I want to tell you my story and the hard realization that I had to go through before I actually started to create something that was honestly valuable. And I just want to save you the having to go through that time and trouble of figuring things out on your own. The first thing that I did when I started my business was I started a law firm. For you guys that don't know me, I actually studied law. But well, it was a failure. Then I got sold into these big gurus ideas out there. So I started a coaching business and did high performance coaching. The same thing as everybody in Richard Zhu coaching program, also a failure. Then I started a business coaching offer. Same thing everybody does after failing their first coaching business. Got some success, but overall it was also failure. I started a marketing agency for coaches. Of course, I was a coach myself, so that's like where I knew a little bit more about, because I love the hands-on support that a marketing agency and a done-for-you business model entails. And that was also failure. It took me more than 4 failed businesses to simply realize that I was doing something wrong. And what I was doing wrong is that I imitated the same offers that the coaching programs I invested in were doing, not understanding that business is way more than simply creating an offer that makes sense in your head. You need to understand that the businesses that crush it in the marketplace are the businesses that create an offer that, number one, pretty much everybody in your target audience would say yes to, and number two, that is super different to everything that exists in the marketplace. I know this is thus far not a super big realization, but honestly, for me at the time, that was like, wow, man, as you would expect. Here's the thing, like I started to realize that, and even if I lost that much time and I had a lot of failures inside of me, and I was like, hey man, I'm maybe not suited to be a business owner. In the time frame that I did all of this, I learned a lot of things. So I learned content marketing, appointment setting on Facebook and cold email, Facebook group strategies, offer creation, etc. And that's when I decided to start a lead generation agency for other agencies, okay? And I'll be honest, first month in, $9,000 in the first month on just performance fees, by the way, not even considering what we did for setup and onboarding fees and anything. And after various months, I niched down even more, and then I started to do lead generation and SDR placement for B2B SaaS and tech companies. And I mean, that's what we're doing right now. And we already have 10 plus active clients that are paying their monthly performance fees, and we're crushing it on that, right? And most importantly, these clients, outside of just getting results, are actually happy. I'm telling you this because I had to go through this entire hassle to actually understand what actually works, what I needed to do, what are some of the ideas and the opportunities that exist out there. So again, what's the point of the story? Don't get fixated in business models. Instead, focus on solving problems from the audience that you know most about. And that's honestly the biggest lesson that I can share with you guys for today's video, because this is what you need to be doing. For one moment, guys, forget SMMA, forget marketing agencies, forget Facebook ads for e-commerce stores, and start thinking about start a service-based business, solving problems online, either in a done-for-you, agency-like, done-with-you, coaching-like, or do-it-yourself, course or consulting-like fashion. That's at its core what you need to be thinking about. Not on what business model, not on what type of niche you want to work in. You need to be thinking in terms of what online service-based business that has one of these ways of delivery you can focus on. And of course, the more involved you are in the process, the more you can charge. That's why agencies and done-for-you work is so expensive. But scalability is going to be an issue. Why? Because you need to actually be doing manual work in order to deliver results. That's the trade-off. You can charge a lot of money, but scalability can be an issue because of the manual involvement that you have in the actual delivery. Or you can charge a little bit less, but you can pretty much sell air. What I mean by that is that if you have a course, for example, you can just sell as many people as you want without having to do any extra work, right? I'm not saying that one is better than the other, it's just like the trade-off, and it's going to depend on what you're looking for, right? And yeah, guys, I know that so far it's like, okay, man, but what should I do, right? Spoiler, I will be showing you guys in the call to action at the end of the video, something that you can do, but stick with me because I want you to understand the last part of this video. When you create an offer, regardless of what type of delivery model you're going to have, done for you, done with you, or do it yourself, you want to think outside of the box because there are no rules when you're creating offers. For example, let's say that you know how to get customers on TikTok or Instagram. You could help people do the same. Done with you can offer coaching. Done for you, you can create content and do the appointment setting for the clients. And you can just charge. That's not an SMMA, that's literally just called booking appointments and closing deals for your clients, right? That's it. Maybe you know how to make dogs behave correctly and don't destroy your house. What you could do is offer consulting services to dog owners, for example. And by the way, this is something that somebody was doing it, I would pay whatever amount of money because I have my dog and he's destroying my house, basically. Maybe you have knowledge in law or taxes and want to help businesses about taxes. Grab a niche and do outreach to sell the outcome. And what's the outcome? Saving money on taxes. Maybe you have knowledge in parenting and sleep behaviors for babies. I actually used to have a coaching client that I helped her with this. You can offer coaching to parents interested in raising their children correctly and wanting to sleep more. because that's an actual pain point. You're solving a problem. Maybe you're a native Spanish or German speaker. You can help people learn Spanish or German or Italian or whatever language you want. And that's it, guys. Of course, you need to have adequate positioning, you need to do outreach, you need to create content, but hopefully you get the point, guys. Any business requires effort. People are so fixated in business models that they forget the foundational stuff of what a business actually is, right? And listen, guys, of course, I don't want to just leave you hanging over here in the destructive ideas that I just started sharing with you. I want to actually show you ways to discover what your offer and business model should be about, both for B2B and B2C offers. Now, before anything else, remember, and this is a key part of actually having a good business, it's never about you, it's always about them. So when you start to create an offer, you never want to think about, okay, what do I want? What do I need? You want to think about what other people need and that you can solve for them, okay? The first one is not really a business model or an offer. I just want to mention it because I honestly believe that it's valuable and I wish that I would have done this in the past. This is a really good option for everyone, but specifically for younger people. You can just learn high value skills like appointment setting, closing, paid traffic, copywriting, etc. by working for somebody else. Not only will you make money for sure, but you will also learn an industry that you might have a certain interest in the future. And on top of that, you will also improve your actual skill set. So you're going to already have pretty much the upper hand when you start your own business. But this out of the way, that I know that not that many people want me to hear, one of the things that you could do is simply ask yourself, what things do people typically ask you about? Because chances are that people are actually willing to pay for that. So if people start to ask you a lot about cooking and how to prepare delicious foods, guys, you could create an offer all about showing people how to cook, how to help restaurant owners create better foods, etc. Like literally, guys, all you gotta do is think about what problems you're interested in solving and that people are willing to pay for. The second option, what ads do you typically see when you're on social media? I'll be honest, if you see an ad and you see it a lot, it's obviously working because somebody is paying to show that to other people. Chances are that if the person that is advertising is actually having the proper targeting, chances are also that you have interested in the topic of the ad. You could create something around it that actually solves a similar problem or the same problem but in a different fashion to what you're looking at in the ad. Outreach and offers with organic attraction work the same way that they work with paid ads. It's just that, of course, with paid ads, you go for a more diffused or high volume approach, when in organic marketing, you're just doing more personalized, targeted approaches, right? At the end, it's basically the same idea. You just want to focus on the actual offer and the actual thing that people are struggling with, because that's what your offer should be all about. The third thing would be to actually understand the following. SaaS platforms are software as services, right? Any software as a service could be a service. Boom, mind blowing, I know, right? But essentially, you could do anything that any SaaS platform does, just charge for it as a service. Listen to this, guys. For example, you can go to Zapier and watch integrations and see what things are interesting happening there, and you can have millions of ideas. Another idea, you can come, for example, to a page such as Beta List, and you can come here to the market categories. Look at this, guys. And I'll do right now just an example. You go to markets, and then you go to, let's say, career management, and you see if this one has 11 likes. I don't even know what this is. It says, create a beautiful professional profile, collect testimonials and praises, share events and milestones. Guys, you could literally reach out to people and just create a beautiful professional profile. And I know that this sounds super simplified, but you got my point. It's literally any issue that a SaaS platform is solving, you could do as a service. You can come here and go to get vouch. Okay, what this is? Earn $1,000 by referring your most talented friends. Okay, you could literally reach out to businesses and say, hey, let me reach out to your current customers so that they can have referrals on autopilot. Or let me install an entire referral system inside of your business so that you can get this outcome, and you hop on a sales call and you sell the system to the person. Instead of charging, I don't know, let's say $50 or whatever it might be, you can charge $3,000. If you create the offer, you have an entire process where you can make the person understand the importance of this and sell the outcome, and you get the point, you can sell these things. I just want you guys to start thinking outside of the box. And again, if you're really super fixated in any certain offer, like ads for e-commerce or lead generation for local businesses, you can deliver the same outcome but using different vehicles. So for example, everybody's doing Facebook ads, you can do Snapchat ads instead of Facebook. Maybe instead of doing just lead generation, you can do sales recruitment instead of cold outbound lead generation. It's just being different, guys. You don't want to just get so fixated to one solution that you start neglecting the core principles of business. AKA, I know that I sound like a broken record, but solving problems for others, okay? These are my call to actions for this video. We launch a free course that will eat all of the other paid things that you've bought for breakfast. And I want to end a fascination to SMMA and e-commerce lovers and actually grow a community of people who build businesses online, helping people solve real problems. I will leave the link in the document where you can join our Facebook group. Right now we're more than 1,000 people, so make sure that you actually come. I'll be answering any questions that you guys are having. On top of that, guys, I want to launch an entire course for sure that is going to show you guys how to create an offer, how to build something that is sellable. And it might be a marketing agency, but it might not. So that's the beauty. It's all about solving problems online. And just the last thing, if you are liking this content, I would highly appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, you like it, you share it with somebody. It will mean the world to me. And last but not least, I will leave this video here that is just like the sequel to what I just discussed, and it's all about how to niche down where you have too many ideas, because I know that you might be in that situation. So if that's you, go and watch the next video. If not, see you guys in the next one and hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye bye.